Sometimes disease pathologies play out in unpredictable ways. We are now entering a phase of Trump Derangement Syndrome that scientists could never have predicted. Phase 1 was bringing up Trump in every conversation, and we've all been on the receiving end of those. You're talking about dogs, and someone will mention that a certain dog looks like Trump because it's ugly, and he's ugly, and the dog probably molests female dogs, just like Trump did. Now, did you hear about the time that Trump blah, blah, blah? You're watching a movie about a street hooker, and your date says,
she probably has more morals than Melania.
And don't even bring up Kyle Rittenhouse or Hitler. Despair-soaked TikTok videos followed in Phase 2, with girls shaving their heads and other acts of self-harm. The idea would be that Trump would take the stage and apologize for all the wrongs he committed. He didn't realize how bad of a person he was until he saw little Sheila look like Joy Reid. Then came retaliation, refusing to have sex and just making life so difficult that Trump voters would go, "Oh no, I voted for Trump, but I didn't think my fat wife with the purple hair and unshaved armpits would do this. If only I could take my vote back." Phase 4 involved blaming Trump for everything under the sun. An airplane skids off a frozen runway, and it's because Trump. Egg prices rise 2 days after the inauguration, and while inflation may be due to many factors, we can all agree that the real reason was Trump. The 5th phase has now arrived, and scientists are puzzled. Apparently, the brain regresses in development to a person's adolescence. Cory Booker arranges a video where he and other Democrats use scripted profanity to lay down their message that Trump is just bad news. Then Jasmine Crockett reverts to her ghetto childhood upbringing by pantomiming a completely incomprehensible song by the most popular rapper around. Then we had a number of congresswomen cosplaying fighters in video games. Can this disease be stopped before it reaches city councils and school boards? Hello out there. I am trying to get through.
With cold blood analysis cradled in the warmth of reason, it's time for Johnny Walker Trip to straighten you out on a thing or two. Emanating all the way from exciting Las Vegas, Oklahoma, it's time for the Johnny Walker Dread Show.
Apparently, this 5th phase of TDS hits the elderly particularly hard. Meet Rosie DeLauro of Connecticut. No, she's not the homeless Crazy Mary character on a children's puppet show. She's not playing witchy poo on some retread of H.R. Puffnstuff. She's an actual congresswoman.
Yo, this is the ranking Rizzler on appropriations. Serving Connecticut's 3rd District. It's time to enter your dark academia Congress era.
Congress era. Do you do English? By the way, a Rizzler is apparently someone who has lots of charm and charisma, and she claims to be the ranking charmer. My God, I can't imagine what the other members of the committee must be like.
All right, besties. House appropriation is the money moves in Congress. We are not chasing the bag. We are the bag.
You're a bag, all right. An old one. And what's this money moves crap? Please don't tell me that she's a Barrington Levy fan.
Democrats are making life smoother for government funding. It's giving it.
Skibbity? Are all you out there in MAGA land changing your mind on Trump yet? And this idea that Democrats make lives smoother for us by spending our money is exactly the wrong message you want to be sending right now. Your job is to make it clear that government spending is critical to our lives, not that it makes our lives smoother. The image should be heart transplants, not foot massages.
So Sigma, main character energy. But Republicans' Project 2025 is mad sus. Eliminating the Department of Education? Negative aura points.
I'm all in favor of dismantling the Department of Education, and I'm ready for all of the counter-arguments, except negative aura points. I don't even know how I'd respond to it. or even if I need to. Aura points. Okay. Fire up the bulldozers, boys. A few months ago, I didn't even know what sus meant. I guess I'm not as cool and hip as DeLauro. And the word is poorly used here. Are you really telling us that all you have against Trump's policies are that they're suspicious? So you're not really sure that they're bad, you just think that they might be. Remember, he is supposedly literal Hitler, but the strongest adjective she can conjure to describe his policies is some Generation Z synonym for suspicious. I have no idea what Sigma main character energy is, and I don't think that she knows either.
Basically, the biggest fandom tax on the environment, on your education, and your rights. Big L posting it online, buddy.
Now that makes sense. Big L, posting it online. Yep, Jasmine Crockett has been posting her Big L's online too.
Democrats understood the assignment, but go off.
She's really tearing into her fellow Democrats here. I'm not even sure what the assignment is and how Democrats are going off. Was the assignment to reinvent the Democratic Party in youthful, cool imagery to capture the Generation Z vote? If so, then I'm not sure it's your fellow Democrats that are going off, except for Jasmine and Booker. Okay, well, maybe DeLauro has a point.
See how I keep you informed? Very cute, very demure.
There's nothing cute about you, lady. If she had ended by saying,
Do you really think that talking like this will settle matters? No, it's time to roll up our sleeves and get serious.
I would have been, oh, she got us. She's talking jive to prove a point. Well done. You're still a crazy old bag, but at least your video isn't totally insane. This video is so whacked that you don't even remember what she was saying. Something about dark academia and big L's. I do remember that she opposes the shutting down of the Department of Education. She didn't tell us why. Perhaps she's employing the Liberty Mutual marketing strategy. Make your promotional shtick so annoying that it burns a hole in your brain and you just call up Liberty Mutual for insurance because you don't even know why. The hole in your brain is now in control. Does this work in the voting booth? Well, we'll see. So where is all this coming from? In a way, the Democratic Party is like your typical adolescent. It has long feared being labeled square. Image consciousness and pure acceptance rule the day. You cake your deodorant on because you fear smelling bad. You agonize over clothing because you want to look hip, but you don't want to buy what's hip because then you'll be called out for trying to be hip. Remember Richard Nixon? He had an image problem. So his handlers decided that because JFK gained a lot of favorable approval among younger voters with his shirtless walks along the beach, they could do something similar with Tricky Dick. And so they set it up. Nixon would walk along the beach, showing his youth, and this is what they got. Walking along the beach while wearing a suit. And so the Democratic Party is much like Richard Nixon. But at least Nixon was honest. He wasn't cool, and so he wasn't going to strip down to bathing trunks to energize his aura. Jasmine's and DeLauro's and Booker's attempts here are patently dishonest. They're not cool, and they never will be. So they need to quit trying. So who is behind all this? Someone is writing these scripts. If you remember, the Democratic National Committee elections were about capturing the youth vote, and a certain David Hogg was elected co-chair. He then promptly and stupidly violated ethics rules on conflicts of interest, but that's beside the point. Democrats think that he will lead them to roping those youngins in.
Let's go win our young people back.
And I wonder if he isn't behind some of this. If the Democratic Party is stupid enough to listen to him, then they're so stupid they shouldn't even be eligible for the next election. Like my video and subscribe to my channel.